Hello students, welcome once again. In the previous class, we learned about preparation of receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account and the balance sheet, which carried 6 marks for the examination. Now we'll deal with those small question carrying 3 marks based on subscription, fund expenses and consumable goods. To start with, the first one is subscription based accounting. Now, what subscription means? Subscription means the major source of income for any non-profit organization. Therefore, this will be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. And some adjustment got to be made to this. Suppose any adjustment given outside the receipt and payment account related to subscriptions outstanding in the beginning at the end, and any advance subscription received in the beginning and at the end will have to be treated, and the same got to be shown to income and expenditure account. Now I'll show you how a subscription statement is prepared. Now remember that 3-mark questions, this 3-mark question can be solved either by preparing a ledger account or by a statement. Statements seem to be easy and shortcut that everyone can understand and it is easy to solve it. This is the subscription table or a statement showing the amount of subscriptions to be shown to income and expenditure account. Right at top you see total subscription received during the year, which means this may include any advance beginning, advance at the end. So therefore some adjustment got to be done. Also outstanding subscriptions in the beginning. So the very first item, add, it is given subscriptions outstanding at the end of the year, which means supposed to be received during the year but till the end of the year not received. Therefore it is added because that it is the current year's income. Below that, subscription received in advance in the beginning, that is at the end of the previous year, received for the current year. Therefore it is the current year's income, therefore it will be added here. Now 2 less items are given. Subscription outstanding in the beginning of the year, which means subscription outstanding of the previous year which was already adjusted, but the amount is received during the year, therefore already included in total subscription. That's why it is subtracted here, because it doesn't belong to current year. And next is subscription received in advance at the end of the year. This belongs to next year, the future. Therefore that is also added to total subscription. That's why these 2 items are subtracted. The difference will be shown as amount to be credited to income and expenditure account. Second one is fund based accounting. This also carries 3 marks. Now fund based means if during the year non-profit organization receives any donation for a specific purpose, that means a particular amount will be added back to the given fund. That may be a tournament fund, that may be fund received for construction of a building, anything like that. So since it is for a specific purpose, this is a liability, therefore it will appear on the liability side of the balance sheet. So following statement will show how the treatment is to be done. Now this is a statement showing calculation of fund to be shown to balance sheet. Right on top, specific fund which the non-profit organization has already received and already appearing in the balance sheet. To that, suppose during the year any donations are received for that particular purpose, that is added back. Any interest received on the investment made of this fund, that is also added back to the specific fund. And if during the year any expenses are done for the particular purpose, so whatever expenses are made will be subtracted from the fund given, and the difference will be the amount to be shown to the liability side of the balance sheet. Now one particular point to be noted here is that if suppose total expenses made exceeds the total of fund, listen carefully, if the total expenses exceeds the total specific fund, the difference will be shown on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account, not balance sheet. Okay, now suppose the specific fund exceeds the expense, the difference will go to the liability side of a balance sheet. Normally the fund normally exceeds the expenses will be very small, not big amount. The third one is consumable goods based accounting. Now what are consumable goods? Now in non-profit organization like hospitals, charitable trusts, societies or clubs, etc., may have certain articles known as consumable goods like medicines in case of hospitals, crockeries in case of clubs, cricket bats and balls in case of any trust society having uh, conducting sports, etc. So these are all consumable goods. So whatever goods are consumed during the year will appear on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. So we have to find out what amount is actually consumed during the year, and any goods which are not consumed will go to the balance sheet. Only consumed amount it will be shown on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. The following statement will show how the calculation is to be done in case of consumable goods based accounting. This also carries 3 marks. Okay, now it's written as if institution consumes certain items such as medicines by hospitals or sports items by clubs, relevant figures for receipts and payment account and income and expenditure account will be calculated. The value of goods consumed is shown in the income and expenditure account, and the amount paid to creditors is shown in receipts and payments account. Look at the statement here. Right on top, amount paid during the year is given to you, and three adjustments are there. 3 adjustments are added, 3 adjustments are subtracted. First one, the add item outstanding at the end of the year, whatever amount is still due to be paid, followed by creditors at the end of the year due to be paid. Advance paid in the beginning of the year, that is for current year, last year paid at the end of last year for current year. So this is current year's expense. So these 3 items are added and 3 other items are subtracted. First one is outstanding in the beginning of the year, that means this belongs to previous year of which the adjustment was already done. Second one, creditors in the beginning of the year, so this belongs to previous year, adjustment was already done. And the third one, advance at the end of the year, that is for next year, so this expense does not belong to current year. So thus the difference of all these will be the amount to be shown to income and expenditure account, that's on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. The fourth one is expenses based accounting. Expenses means any amount paid for running the non-profit organization, that may be in the form of salary, rent, interest, printing and stationery, etc. So any adjustment given, that may be like outstanding expenses or prepaid expenses, the same got to be adjusted at the end of the year to find out the actual amount of surplus or deficit of the current year. The following statement will show how the calculation of expenses are done to be shown to income and expenditure account on the expenditure side. Look at the statement here. Right on top, total amount paid during the year is given. Two adjustments are given there. Add outstanding expenses during the year, that means expenses supposed to be paid, not paid during the year. Supposed to be paid but not paid during the year. Second one, prepaid expenses in the beginning of the year, that is for current year. So current year's expense will be shown in the amount paid. 2 less items are there, outstanding expenses in the beginning, so this expenses belongs to previous year but paid during the year, current year, therefore it is subtracted. And prepaid expense at the end of the current year, this is for the next year, so it doesn't belongs to current year's expenses, therefore this is also subtracted. The net difference is the amount to be shown to expenditure side of income and expenditure account. These were the 4 small questions carrying 3 marks. Now we are going to see 2 tables, comparative tables, difference between receipt and payment account, cash book and income expenditure account and profit loss account. So just go through both these tables which are given. These may carry 1 mark, like theory questions carry 1 mark. So there may be different question asked for 1 mark, or 1 mark question can come from anywhere. So whatever lesson were taught right from the beginning till here, you may get a question carrying 1 mark. So table shows a clear difference between the basis, cash basis, receipt and payment account. The next one, uh, income expenditure account and profit and loss account. What is the basic difference between both of them? So just study the table and try to remember the things, so that whenever a question is asked carrying 1 mark, you'll be able to answer the question without any problem. Right, students, so we come to the end of the chapter. I hope you might have understood the concepts of this particular chapter. You'll be able to solve the questions without any difficulties. Now I'm giving you 25 questions, theory questions. Read all the questions carefully and try to answer them. And if you are able to answer to all these questions, which means you have understood all the concepts of this particular chapter. Now you'll be able to solve the practical questions as well. Okay, try them. If you don't understand, repeat the video. Whatever formats are given to you, that formats will help you to solve the questions that are given in your book. So goodbye. We come to end of the chapter here.